And a very good afternoon to all of you. Steven here once again. Well, I finally get a chance to talk NASCAR for the first time in 2025 on this channel. Before we get started, or this first time in a while, I should say. But before we get started, please remember, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, comment down below, hit the bell for notifications, the works, and comment down below as well. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Now, obviously the big story, at least as of when I wrote all of this down, because things have changed since then, which I would plan to write down more stories from what I found and do videos on those at a later date, is the broadcast side of things, specifically with the CW and Fox's Indycar broadcast. And sorry about that, folks, I heard something. Anyway, essentially, earlier this month, it was announced who was going to be calling the races for the CW and Fox's IndyCar coverage. Now, on the IndyCar side of things, you got Will Buxton, Townsend Bell, and James Hinchcliffe. Although at that time, they did not announce a pre-race host or hostess or pit reporters. Just the three gentlemen who will be calling the races. So we have to wait and see regarding that on who will be joining them. Meanwhile, the CW did announce essentially the full lineup minus driver analysts from the Charlotte studio for their Xfinity Series coverage, which will consist of Adam Alexander, Parker Kligerman, and Jamie McMurray in the booth. In fact, McMurray's going to be busy since he'll stay on as Fox during the pre- and post-race coverage there as well. In addition, pit row, you have Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn. And it seems that Dylan will stay with NBC since he was part of their IMSA coverage during the 24 hours at Daytona. In addition to all those names, you got Carla Gaypart, who will do the pre- and post-race coverage for them. Although at the time, they did not announce who will be joining her in that spot. But most likely, it'll probably be a combination of Kligerman, of Parker, and Jamie, throwing in their 2 cents as well. So, my thoughts on the booth on both sides of the argument. Both sides of Motorsports, I should say. Overall, I think the booth for IndyCar is great. Now, Will Buxton is no stranger to the open wheel since he was a pit reporter when Speed/Fox had F1 coverage. And of course, you have Hinchcliffe and Bell with their experience in open wheel. So the booth will be great. I am curious though on who will be joining them in the broadcast booth, on the pit reporters, and the pre- and post-race coverage there on the IndyCar side of things. But overall, I like the booth. As with CW, well, one thing's for sure, Adam's going to be very busy. Because essentially, 2/3 of NASCAR Xfinity and Cup coverage combined will be done by him in some capacity. Rather, that's going to be calling the races on Amazon TNT, in addition to his CW duties for the races, or just practice and qualifying for Amazon or Turner, with the CW coverage, of course. And the same thing with Jamie McMurray regarding Fox. And speaking of Fox, earlier today they announced their broadcast team. In addition to McMurray, you're also going to have Chris Myers returning to the pre and post race coverage, alongside pit reporters Regan Smith and Jamie Little. But it seems, again, seems being the key word here, that there will be a 4-man booth for Fox for the Cup Series. Obviously, you got Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, and Kevin Harvick. But based on what I've read, Larry Reynolds will be joining them in some capacity as well. Whether or not he will be in the booth with them or at the Charlotte studio, I don't know. But at least Larry will be involved in some capacity regarding the Fox broadcast as well in the Cup Series. At this time, we still don't know the pre- and post-race coverage for his hosting duties for Amazon or TNT, let alone the pit reporters. And for Amazon, time's running out because, well, let's face it, their first NASCAR content will be at Atlanta for practice and qualifying only. Since, as you know, they're going to do the majority of practice and qualifying for the Fox portion of the season. I mean, unless somehow Amazon could be just loaning out the Fox team to handle all of that. And the NBC, and probably the same thing once NBC joins. Minus, of course, the TNT races. At least for practice and qualifying. But we'll see. We shall see on that. Now, there are a few other things I want to talk about right quick that I didn't get a chance to as well. Originally, Mike Wise was going to race the Daytona 500 for Carl Long's team. However, he was denied entry into the 500. So now with the new team name, which I'll talk about next time, but Chandler Smith has been picked to replace him for the Daytona 500 as well, in addition to his full-time deal with the Truck Series. And that's great for Chandler. I'm glad he's sticking around, at least in some capacity, going forward. Hopefully, his Truck Series deal will result to him to get at least a win or two during the season. And I hope he does well in the Daytona 500. And speaking of that race, obviously the big story there is a couple of new drivers added to the list. Martin Truex Jr. will drive for Tricon in the Daytona 500, along with Helio Castroneves, which, thanks to a new rule that NASCAR introduced, he's automatically entered for the 500, which I'll talk about next time, along with Justin Allgaier for Junior Motorsports. That's right, Junior Nation. Dale Jr. is officially a Cup Series owner, or at least for a one-off deal. It'll be the number 40 car, mind you, so don't, and I hope for Allgaier, he does well. And to me, that's the best choice, because he has Cup experience before, and he knows how to win at Daytona. So who better to get started on your Cup entry there, Dale? Rather than this would turn into a full-time deal going forward, it's hard to say. And it's going to get complicated regarding the rules on the charter side of things, which, again, I plan to talk about next time. Now, the other thing I had on my list to talk about, where I made the original video, but, well, the battery went down on my phone, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it all that much, was that Ryan Preece got a new crew chief, Derek Finley. Finley has been with the 60 team for a while now, so the only difference there is that he's going to be the full-time crew chief for the car, since that would be a charter entry. So, yeah. That's going to be it for now. Now that things begin to warm up around here, plus with spare time before work, I'll be back every chance I get to get you guys up to speed, as it were, to get ready for the Clash at Daytona next weekend. In fact, before Saturday, I'm going to give you my thoughts on who's going to win the Clash as well. So, with all that said and done, and I promise going forward, I am going to try to talk a little slower so you can follow me better. Which I admit, nobody has criticized me on that, but I do get it at times because I do tend to talk fast and sometimes people can't understand me. So one of my goals is to try to talk a little slower. Won't be easy, but I'll try just the same. But until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.